Today I'm reacting to The Sensual World by Kate Bush, a world that me and probably you guys have never been to, because let's face it, if you're listening to Kate Bush, you're not getting any action. It came out in 1989 after Hounds of Love and after The Dreaming as well. It's 10 songs here, 42 minutes, and I guess this kind of completes her holy trinity of albums, I guess. I'm excited to get into this because I loved The Dreaming and Hounds of Love. Kate Bush is probably one of my favorite artists now, definitely. The Uncut Reaction is going to be on Patreon. It's $4 a month. Link in the description to go join that down below. You also get first, I guess, priority for your album requests, so consider joining that down below. And it's time to enter The Sensual World by Kate Bush. Let's go. All right, first track is The Sensual World. Whoa. Okay, we're wasting no time getting into the action. It's a great introduction track, kind of throwing us into this world. I love how she isn't afraid to include like really worldly influences from all across the world. It makes everything feel really unique. Woo! That was fire. This is an interesting direction for her to go in after this, obviously coming out after Hounds of Love, which is her most popular album. I think I'm correct in saying that, definitely. So yeah, I mean, we're getting thrown into the sensual world here. Very sexy, sensual lyrics, talking about sex, talking about all that, you know? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a lot here too, though. I feel like she might be using sex as a metaphor for something throughout this album. I'd be surprised if it's just literally about that the entire album. What is this? Whoa, what the frick is happening in this Genius annotation? And I thought, well as well, him as another, and then I asked him with my eyes to ask again, yes, and then he asked me, would I yes to say yes, my mountain flower, and first I put my... What is happening? I feel like I'm having a stroke reading this. But yeah, like I said, I love the kind of worldly influences that she's got going on here. It's not like too different from any other Kate Bush stuff, but it does kind of have its own unique feel. So I'm excited. Did I give that a rating? I don't think I did. But it was good, so let's keep going. I will say, this album feels a lot more like commercial, a lot more accessible, which is fine. It's just a little bit of an adjustment after The Dreaming. This mix is a bit weird. It feels a bit quiet. It feels pretty thin. Okay, I'm getting kind of like religious themes with this track. I don't know if Kate Bush had a religious background, but that bass is just ripping, man. I gotta be honest, musically I'm not loving this album yet. It's not nearly as interesting as Hounds of Love or The Dreaming. I like that guitar though. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, from what I know Kate Bush is capable of, that's getting the mid from me. It just, nothing really grabbed me musically on that track. I mean, the bass line was ripping for a little bit there. Like, it was like a nice little tune, but it was like, I don't know, there was nothing that like grabbed me. Usually with Kate Bush, I expect these weird little glitchy or experimental things to come out and trip me out a little bit, but nothing really happened like that with this track. I like it lyrically though. There's a lot of just beautiful lines here and there, and why I said it has kind of a religious tone, it was because of this part. If you can't tell your sister, if you can't tell a priest, because it's so deep, you don't think that you can speak about it to anyone. So maybe she's kind of holding in these feelings, because maybe she's been told that they're wrong or something. So yeah, maybe there isn't that much religious themes to it, but that's kind of what I was getting from it. Next up we have The Fog, which is interesting because she does have a track, I think it was on Hounds of Love, that was The Morning Fog. So we'll see if there's any kind of correlation there or not. Okay, like a synth like clarinet or flute type thing. Weird. Talking to her therapist maybe or something. Kate's father. Okay. Robert Bush. It's It's a sweet guitar, man. Love that little guitar lick. Bum. This one's cinematic with the strings. Beautiful. This is what I was waiting for. Ah, okay. Okay. So I think the morning fog is when she was in the water off of the shipwreck, obviously. So it's deep and dark like the water was. Looking back on that. Yeah. This is like a cool kind of sequel to that. This track feels like kind of growing up, maturing. Letting go, her parents letting her go, maybe. The strings, man. I love how she's kind of getting swallowed by the strings. Yeah, I like how her voice in the mix was kind of getting overwhelmed by the strings. Kind of gives the sense of that water, being in the water. That was my favorite one so far, easy. That's close to a 10 for me, I feel like, but not quite there. Like I said, the strings do such a good job of creating the imagery and just the feeling of being in water and kind of the, maybe being lost in it. It also feels like maybe her just kind of growing up. Like the last track felt like letting go. This also kind of feels like letting go, but maybe from her parents' perspective. Obviously with the intro there, I'm all grown up now. Put your feet down because you're all grown up. So yeah, I feel like, and again, it does tie back to the morning fog too, because I think if I remember correctly, that was one of the tracks. It was in the second half of Hounds of Love where it was the story of her being shipwrecked and then she's in the water and, you know, that kind of stuff. So it ties back to that really well, and it kind of sounds like Hounds of Love too. Sounds like it could have been on that album. That was really good though. That was kind of what I was looking for. It pulls you in with the strings. It keeps your attention. It has that real cinematic feel to it. Oh, it's a beautiful piano. Really soft kick. And she's producing all of these as well, which is still just insanely impressive. Okay. I love how her vocals are mixed on this album. They're pretty quiet and they feel like they're being overwhelmed by the instrumental, but it all feels kind of fitting. Makes me think of the album cover, the flower. So dramatic. I love it. Like I could just see this being in a play. I'm loving the strings on the past two tracks. Great. Really, really good. I'm liking how her vocals are mixed, like I said on this album. For some reason, they feel a little bit quieter than her other albums, but I think it's kind of adding to the visual image it's kind of creating in my brain. Like she's kind of just being enveloped by these instrumentals, and it feels psychedelic, like in a weird way. So yeah, I'm liking this a lot. I'm liking this. I was a little bit skeptical at first, but I feel like it's kind of coming together now. This is definitely her easiest record to kind of get into in terms of the sound, at least so far. This feels like maybe her like mainstream kind of record, which isn't a bad thing because, I mean, the second track was not my favorite, but other than that, it's been pretty solid so far. Again, this just feels like yearning for love. Child reaches out in like kind of how love is kind of inevitable, I guess. You know, the man reaches out for what he cannot have, the pull and push it of it all. Just feels like kind of her observation of love and how it kind of takes a hold on everybody. All right, let's keep going. Heads were dancing. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, heads. Oh, I'm an idiot. I thought it was heads were dancing. Like heads were dancing, but it's heads we are dancing. So he's flipping a coin, I guess. If it's heads, they're gonna dance. Red flag. A little bit creepy. But it's obviously meant to be. That kind of sounds like a coin flipping. That's great. Wait, what? I feel like I'm lost here. It's a really interesting story. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, he's Hitler. Such an absurd story, but I love it. Yeah, so she hooked up with Hitler. Okay. That's funny. I like that. I like that. That's a absurd story, but it works. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, musically it wasn't my favorite, but I think the story is what really makes it entertaining more than anything. It's told in a great way. Obviously him coming up, freaking telling her to flip a coin to dance with her, which is straight up just automatically a weird thing to do, but I don't know why it took me so long to realize that she was the one dancing with Hitler. I think it was just the way it was said was kind of confused me, but yeah, that's a funny story. There's probably some deeper meaning to it. Maybe this is based off a real story of someone that she ended up dancing with, and then he turned out to be just a horrible dude or something. Obviously not actually Hitler, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I like it. Let's keep going. It's another funny one. Oh, and it's that kind of robotic voice too. Again, this is kind of taking a comedic turn I didn't expect, but I'm here for it. I mean, this is ahead of its time too. Obviously, people rely on computers all the time to kind of fill the void. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm relying on a laptop and a camera to fill the deep black hole within my heart, so. So obviously she's not getting the actual connection with a human here, so she's kind of confused. I mean, deeper, you know. I mean, it's comedic, but it's also dark as well. It's great, though. I gotta be honest, though, I think this is her least interesting album musically, so far at least. There's been some moments, but it's not nearly as creative or engaging as The Dreaming or Hounds of Love. That's cool though, having the like computery, glitchy sound effects in there really sells it. Do I give another mid? I mean, we gotta be, this is all relative to Kate Bush. Obviously, this song wouldn't be mid if it was like in frickin', I don't know, frickin' Polo G's discography or something. I don't know why I chose Polo G, but you know. I'm gonna give the mid though. Like it's a pretty strong mid, if that makes sense. It's close to good. But yeah, it's another good story, and it's another good concept for a song. I just think while there is some fun instrumental moments, like the little glitchy computery effects, I think the instrumental is just a little bit too bland and not as engaging as stuff on her previous two albums that I've listened to. It says it's inspired by Stephen Hawking and how he obviously talked through a computer, or like a speech synthesizer type thing. And it feels like that too, but she's kind of maybe using this to kind of fill a void of a lack of love or lack of relationships with real people, which is, again, ahead of its time and a thing that's more freaking present now than ever. So, yeah, That was pretty good. Wait, why? Between a man and a woman. Why is there 11 on here? Never Be Mine. Rocket's Tale. This Woman's Work. Okay, Genius has an 11th track, Walk Straight Down the Middle. The Spotify version only has 10, ends at This Woman's Work. Let me know what that's about down below. Okay. So is this from the perspective of an angel here? Angels fear to tread. Well, no, I'm an idiot. It's just someone trying to get in the middle of this relationship. It's pretty straightforward lyrically, but is it a person or is it? I don't know. Why am I such a simp for strings? Oh. Boom, 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 boom. That was great. That was a track that was actually like engaging to me musically, and lyrically is a little bit more straightforward. Obviously, talking about not wanting a third party to kind of ruin this relationship that she has going on here. I don't know if I've heard that topic been covered in a song, probably at some point, but pretty unique idea for a song. It's not done in the most like cryptic way. It's a little bit more straightforward, which makes it obviously easier to understand, but it might make it a little bit less entertaining on future listens because there's less to kind of pick through. But yeah, I like this little line right here. Angels fear to tread, you go rushing in. Obviously, she's kind of explaining that it's like a freaking risky thing to do that not everybody would just do willingly. Pretty cool track. Again, musically, it was pretty gripping. Lyrically, pretty straightforward, but overall, a good experience. And I liked how it kind of built towards the end there, and it was a pretty satisfying climax, I guess. I feel like I'm putting a lot of unintentional like sexual innuendos here. What did I say? I said swallowing earlier, and then I said a satisfying climax. Hey, it's getting to me. The sensual world's getting to me. Oh, I like that. What is that instrument? What the heck? It's like a distorted sax or something. She's yearning for the good and the bad of her relationship. That's such a, it's like a, hold on. It's like a flute, but it's like weirdly distorted and panned and... Don't know what language that is. I love how she does that. She always throws in some like whacked out weird freaking reverse vocals or something in a different language. Bro, that's what I love about Kate Bush. There's so many weird instruments and effects. Like it's like its own little game trying to identify what every instrument is or what every sound is. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Again, it's not like a track that shocks me or blows my mind musically, but it feels a little bit more accessible, a little bit of a more casual, easy listen, I guess, compared to her other stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's not like freaking Ed Sheeran easy to listen to, but again, she is yearning for a relationship here. She wants the thrill and the hurting, but she can't have it, so she knows maybe he's better off without her. Yeah, good track. Good track. I mean, again, a little bit more straightforward or lyrically. That's cool. I like seeing Kate Bush kind of do this more straightforward, I guess, kind of direction musically and lyrically. I don't know if it's definitely not her most streamed, which is kind of interesting too, because I feel like this, maybe not actually. I don't know, I feel like Hounds of Love is fittingly her most popular. Okay. Like, what makes you think, let's just go a cappella now? It's so creative. So unique. A lot more to digest here lyrically. Oh! Whoa. Yeah. The drums, guitar. This part's great, man. It's easily one of the best tracks. Hear those angelic voices in the back, too. Drum fills. Great drum fills. Whoa. Oh my goodness, man. That's easily one of my favorite Kate Bush tracks ever. The acapella beginning erupts into this kind of heavy, like, rock track with heavy drums, sick guitar, her just going crazy over top of that. That part completely took me by surprise. And lyrically, there's a lot here too that I feel like I have to dissect, so it's going to be fun on future listens to kind of look into this. And she's talking about being a rocket. That track, the sound of that track does such a good job of illustrating that, because it felt like fireworks. It felt like a rocket taking off. It felt fiery, explosive, and just, again, really fitting for the lyrics. Maybe it's her just kind of, because the last track was kind of a downer track, her wanting this relationship, maybe realizing it's not the best for the other guy, her trying to let go of that. Maybe this is her kind of just maybe freeing herself. Yeah, it feels like a good penultimate track, I guess. I don't really know what it's about lyrically, but I think, I don't know, the sound fits the lyrics. The drum fills were freaking amazing. She had her classic Kate Bush kind of weird vocals at the end there, lots of character and lots of personality to those. I don't think I gave that a rating, but I'm gonna give that a 10. That's probably my favorite on this album. Really took me by surprise, and it's probably one of my favorite Kate Bush tracks I've heard so far, overall, in general. Last track here is This Woman's Work. This has 38 million streams, easily the most on this album. So we'll see why. Might be a ballad here. Okay, this feels really important lyrically. I gotta pay attention here. Oh, this is dreamy, man. Ethereal. That synth. That's beautiful. Beautiful. That's sin. Oh my gosh. The strings come in. What a beautiful song, man. I mean, it's so clear to see why that's the most streamed on this album. I didn't love it as much as the one before it, but still one of the best on the album. More of a ballad type track here. Starts off with the soft piano, kind of builds with that ethereal kind of synth and the strings that come in. Great performance vocally by Kate here. I haven't really talked about the vocals that much on this album, but I think there wasn't that much to talk about because they weren't as insane as they were on like Hounds of Love or The Dreaming. A lot of emotion in that track. All the things, I mean, it feels like maybe a breakup track here. This line just hits hard, man. I should be crying, but I can't let it show. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking. Ooh. Oh, he wants to be a man. Oh, so is this... Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a breakup track here. Yeah, because I stand outside this woman's work, this woman's world. It's hard on the man, so definitely a sympathetic towards the man track here. So maybe kind of about the idea of toxic masculinity, definitely. How guys don't feel like they can really show their emotions. Maybe she has sympathy towards men and their kind of part in relationships and maybe how it can be hard on them too. I love how she writes from different perspectives and it's really cool. It's about being forced to confront an unexpected and frightening crisis during the normal event of childbirth. Okay, so it's about childbirth, I guess. Okay, that's making more sense now, though. I know you have a lot of strength left. I know you have a little life in you yet. Starts the craft of the father. Maybe the mother died in childbirth, I guess. So now it's on the father. I don't know, man. I'm kind of confused, but I feel like I kind of get the sentiment of the track. More, I was just loving the sound of that track. I wasn't paying too heavily to the lyrics on that one. But yeah, that was a great closer to a pretty good album. I'd say it's my least favorite of the three, probably. It's definitely the most straightforward, most mainstream, I would say. And I think that's to its detriment at some points, and it's great at other points, but a lot of these instrumentals do feel a little bit, they leave a little bit to be desired, especially because I know what Kate Bush is capable of in terms of creating extremely unique soundscapes and just instrumentals in general. Vocally, it wasn't as crazy as something like The Dreaming or even Hounds of Love. It doesn't feel as conceptual as Hounds of Love, but overall, it's still really good. A lot of cool song topics here and song concepts. Rocket's Tale is probably one of my favorite Kate Bush songs ever. Let me know your thoughts on this album down below. Where does it rank in comparison to The Dreaming and Hounds of Love for you? Like I said, it's probably the bottom for me, but still very good. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want, dislike if you want, if you don't like the video. All right, that's gonna do it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.